Hello and welcome back to my channel Lady Tea. Today it is tea time, so grab yourself something nice to drink and sit back to just relax. Today I'm going to show you footage of my trip to Taizé in France. We went to a monastery together with school. This is one of my friends, Daphne, and we went here voluntarily. There were some people from another school here in my town that had to go because it's a part of their study, but because there were a lot of spaces left on the bus, we were able to come as well. And I was really looking forward to it on one side, and on the other side I felt a little hesitant because I didn't really know what I could expect from the experience itself, and some people really like it and enjoy it and find it hard to come back in the real modern world, and others just don't like it at all and feel like they want to go back immediately. But this is some footage of the bus ride over to Taizé. It was very fun to see the landscape change because the Netherlands are very flat. There are some hills here and there, but overall it is just flat. And when we entered Belgium and especially France, you could see a lot of villages and cities just over the hills, and everything was worked into the hills themselves, and it was just fun to see that there are hills around the world and that everything is not as flat as we have it in the Netherlands. And I really like the architecture here. What we noticed, and maybe that sounds a little strange, but that the houses weren't kept in good condition. That sometimes you could see that paint was missing from some buildings, or there were other stuff that we noticed that we were like, people just don't seem to care here. It doesn't seem to be a top priority to keep your house in the best condition ever. And these houses were, it was just a lot of fun to see this other culture and to see people living in a different way than we are used to, and it's not even that far away from us. So and I'm going to continue to talk to you when the photos arrive, but for now enjoy the music and the bus ride to Taizé. We started our bus ride early in the morning, around 5 a.m. So it was very early when we had to leave. Me and my friend pulled an all-nighter because we thought we could sleep in the bus, and I did, but she couldn't. And we arrived somewhere in the late afternoon, around 4 or 5 p.m. We arrived there, so I really enjoyed the bus ride. There was a lot of stuff to see, and I just liked seeing everything. These were the barracks in which we stayed. We stayed in something that felt like a closet room. We have 6 people. Luckily we knew them all, and they were double beds, and it just felt very cramped in the beginning. And the first 1.5 days I really wanted to go back home because I just felt like everything was decided for me and that I had no free will left, and I really didn't like it. And there was just a side of me that really wanted to go home immediately. I even thought about taking the bus to Paris and just fly back, but on Monday, we left on Sunday, and on Monday evening, one of my friends called, and she was like, just spit it out, what's wrong, what's going on? And so I told her, and we had a good cry about it. And then the next day I felt so much more at peace there, that I really started to enjoy my time. Because the thing is in Taizé, that you get a schedule as soon as you arrive, and there are 3 church services every day. One at 8:15 in the morning, then the next one is around 12:20, and the last one is at night, somewhere after 8. And during the rest of the day you have a chore which you have to sign up for as soon as you get there. I had a very easy job, something that I didn't mind at all. I had to restock and refill the toilet paper and the soap in the bathrooms, and there weren't that many people that week, so it wasn't that bad. There were only about 1,000 people, and Taizé can hold up to 6,000, so we had an easy job. Overall, it took us about 20-25 minutes every day, so we were in a group of 3 people, so that was fine. And we also had Bible study. I only went there on Monday because that was one of the things that was making me feeling stressed. I needed some more time to myself, so I just went to the church services, and for the rest of the day I spent talking to other people and enjoying myself and reading. And I spent a lot of the times of my time in the Kedem because it was very hot. It was 37 degrees like Celsius, so I don't know what the Fahrenheit of that is, but it was very warm, and the catacomb was actually very, very cold. So I spent a lot of time there. You had to be silent, which was perfect because I was trying to read, so it was all good and pleasant. I had brought 3 books with me during this holiday because I wanted to read, and I thought, well, 3 will be enough, but I had to borrow a book from someone else at the last 2 days because I had finished all of my books and I needed some more to spend the rest of my days. But on Saturday we were going to leave, and me and my friend and a friend that we made during the trip decided to go to Cluny on our last day. There was a bus going from Taizé to Cluny, but not one back until 6 p.m. And that was around the time that we had to be back. So my friends decided that it was a good idea to walk all the way back. Now, the bus ride itself was about 10 to 15 minutes, and going on foot meant that we had to walk back for 2 hours. So I wasn't very thrilled about it, but my friends were like, it will be fine, nothing's going to happen, 2 hours is nothing, and I secretly hated them already, but we decided to walk back. It was also a very hot day, and there were no sidewalks on the way that we had to walk back, so yeah, it wasn't the most pleasant hike I've ever had. And there was a point we were only walking for about like 20 minutes, and then my friend was like, I don't want to walk right next to the road anymore. There is a way up here, up the hill, that we can take, and will take us around for 30 minutes longer, so it would have been 2 hours and a 30-minute walk. And I really didn't want to, but the other 2 wanted to, and I didn't want to walk alone. So we went up the hill, which was one of the worst decisions we've ever made. There was some sort of road that we were still able to walk on for a large part of that road, but then we walked into some kind of woods, and there was still a road that we could follow, but it felt a little like we had been transported into a thriller movie and a serial killer was going to find us at any second, which luckily didn't happen, but it was very scary, and we managed to get back to the main road. We continued to walk for about another 10 or 15 minutes, And then we came across a restaurant and I was like, I'm not going to continue to walk. We're not just going to rest here. We're going to make sure that someone drives us home. I don't care if we have to pay a taxi a ridiculous amount of money. I'm not going to continue to walk. Because at that time we had cleared 40 minutes of walking. So that would have been another hour and 15 minutes or something like that, or an hour and a half. And I really didn't feel like walking anymore. We were all tired, we were all grumpy. Except for my friend, we thought of this as an adventure, which it was, but not one of the fun ones that I would like to redo again. So we talked to the receptionist there, and she was like, the taxi doesn't want to come and get you, but my husband, who is the chef here, he is willing to drive you back. So he had to finish something and then he drove us back, and it was only a 5-minute drive, and thank God for him. We were so appreciative that we didn't have to walk all the way back. He was very funny, he was a very fun, kind dude, and we thank you so much. If you're ever going to see this video, thank you for driving us back home. We were very tired. But yeah, overall the Taizé experience made me realize how well balanced my life is here back at home. That I have a good balance between my between working, things that I have to do, and my free time, things that I just want to do. Because I don't feel stressed here around my home, and I experienced the same feeling in Taizé after the first 1.5 days, when I started to enjoy and make decisions of my own instead of just following the rhythm that they wanted me to follow. Which was kind of the point, I think, to follow their schedule, but that wasn't my thing. And at some point we were able to talk to one of the monks, who came from the Netherlands, and he has been living there as a monk for about 16 or 17 years, and it was very inspiring to talk to him and why he made this decision. And he was very light-hearted about it and very funny. And you don't have to be religious to come to Taizé. So if you ever want to experience it yourself, you are more than welcome to come. And this was the light ceremony that we had at the end of the week as a send-off. We had to leave immediately after this last service. So we were driving at night and arrived early in the morning. I was home around 11 a.m. Yeah, this was the ride home. This was the night time. But when we left, I really slept very well. I'm able to sleep everywhere, so some others weren't as lucky as me. Some were sleeping on the floor of the bus. And here we come to the video of the morning where I was waking up. And this was a very pleasant trip. I would like to go again next year, not with school, because they're going in April instead of June next time. But it was a very fun experience, and I highly recommend it, just to open yourself up to other people and to other experiences, because Taizé is really a place of its own. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again in the next video. Goodbye!